28 of the Short Guys podcast. We got a great legendary former Fruitport basketball player and now Whitehall JV coach, Marcelo Conklin. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right, to start things off, I got some crazy news today. But first, I want to shout out and rest in peace to the Warriors assistant coach, Dehan Milojevic. Sorry if I messed that shit up.
Nice.
But somehow he passed away at 46.
Whoa.
But breaking news, the freaking Pacers are.
We don't want to do the draft first?
Oh yeah, shit. All right, draft.
Okay.
All right.
This is the big old icebreaker.
Yeah.
We do this every draft. We're going to do a fantasy draft. Start at the top, go to the bottom. And today, because you are Mr. JV coach, we're going to do our best favorite or best coaches of all time. Perfect. All right, you got to get the right ones on there, though.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy.
How old is he?
He's about 15 months.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just a little shit, so he'll be running around and screaming, and he may knock the lamp over us what he likes to do, but hey, it's all part of the gig, man.
Oh yeah.
He's the main short guy we got.
All right.
You all set up?
Yep.
All right, so Marcelo, with number 1 overall pick, the best coach of all time in your opinion, who do you have?
Gotta go Phil Jackson.
Phil
Oh,
Jackson.
Gotta go Phil
Fucker.
Jackson.
Okay. OG Phil Jackson, how many rings?
Too many to count.
I think
That's
it's
true.
11.
11, because he's got 11 as a coach. Yep. Oh, you drop all.
I mean, he's had all the greats,
Yeah, Kobe, Jordan.
Shaq.
You can go with the next one.
All right. Well, Stella took my pick. I'm just gonna go with Coach K, the greatest college basketball coach ever.
Can't disagree. It's a good pick.
All right. Now you got Coach K, you got Phil. All right, so it's my turn on the turnaround. So we're gonna do snakes. So when it comes back to you, you do the next two. For my first pick, I'm gonna go with what the hell happened?
Hudson hit it.
Oh, restart.
All right, we're back. Hudson had a little cue, but I picked Coach K, so I'll let Phil. All right, Jacob, go.
Okay, for my first overall pick, I'm going to go with two ghosts that just recently left their big teams. I'm going to go with Bill Belichick and Nick Saban.
Damn.
Two great picks.
And you guys are big basketball guys, so I had to get the football guys out of the way.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then Stella, now you get to go again.
I thought it was your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Goes
shit.
back to you.
God damn it, we've only been doing this for 28 episodes.
Let's just say work was a long day.
Fair enough.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to go with. Damn. Oh yeah, let's go with the old man. Still coaching right now. Probably the best young player in the NBA. I'm gonna go Pop.
Okay, good pick, good pick.
All right, now Sal, you get 2 picks.
All right. I'm gonna go with the Heat here with Eric Spoelstra.
And he just signed that like $15 million a
Yeah,
year
one
deal.
of the biggest contracts, but it just seems like whoever he gets, he performs.
Right.
That Heat culture.
Shout out to Heat giving that after his divorce too.
Right.
So keep all his money. Yeah.
Yeah, he just got divorced and then he signed the contract.
Yeah.
That wife.
Once it was finalized, he signed the contract.
Oh yeah.
That wife.
Shout out Pat Riley.
That wife is in her feels right now.
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then round number 3, who else you got?
I'm gonna go super current. I'm gonna go with Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr. That's, woo.
I mean,
Big
it's a newer one, but watching their offense, it's
Special.
I mean, and having the guys to do it too, obviously. But the stuff that he's accomplished so far it's been crazy. You can't discredit that.
Well, and the thing is too, when you have such great players that have to buy in, that's great leadership and that's great coaching.
Right.
Steve Kerr obviously embodies that.
Right?
Are you behind putting in the picks? Did we lose it again?
I don't know why.
Uh-oh. Malfunction, son.
All right, who's up now?
All right, you're up now.
All right. Damn. I feel like all the good ones are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, has anyone drafted Saban yet?
Yep.
Yeah, that was my second
Oh
pick.
yeah, shit. Man. I will have to go with. I'll go for Lombardi.
It's a big one.
Okay.
It's a big one.
Okay. Big one. Okay. So you got Lombardi. So it's back to me for round 3 and 4.
Yep.
I'm going to go with. Give me another GOAT in college basketball. Give me Roy Williams for UNC.
Damn, that's a good one.
It's a great one.
I'm trying to think of another big one.
I had a lot in my head earlier, but
Yeah, no, so did I. I had a lot, and I'm thinking, I'm just kind of like blanking. Another football guy. Let's go with someone recent. Let's go Mr. Andy Reid.
I knew you were gonna say that shit.
Yeah, with old him and Patrick Mahomes changing everything. Let's go Andy Reid.
Who did Sal have for his other one?
He had Spoelstra.
Oh yeah, Eric. All right. You know what? I'm gonna keep it local. I'm gonna say the OG. My dad, back in the day, coaching OB football.
Okay.
Their best winning season back in
Hey,
the
your
19.
dad coached me in 7th or 8th grade for basketball.
Oh yeah, that too. That team was good.
That was a great year for me,
Yeah, that too.
Shout out Craig Schultz.
for sure.
That team was good. That was when everyone was playing. Even little Dom Colgrove was playing back then.
Oh, jeez.
We had like 15, 16 kids on the team just running.
That team was stacked. I remember, what was I? I think it was like the second game, and Ethan had a fucking breakaway, and he pulled it for 3.
Dude could have got a layup
Yeah,
and
my
shot a deep 3,
My dad's
like
like,
from
what
the
the fuck?
from the volleyball line, and,
Oh,
and he hit it, and like it was like it was either to go to overtime or it was either to like win.
Yeah.
But either way, like we were going crazy.
What the fuck?
That shit was crazy.
That's something. That's Ethan though for you.
Shout out to Ethan. Only he would do that shit.
Right.
Alright, now who's up?
And then it's Cello rounding out the 4 and 5.
Yep. There it goes.
All right, 4 and 5.
Yep.
I'll stick with the Heat and go with Pat Riley.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Fair enough.
Legend.
And then to round out, are we still on?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. And then last pick. Damn. What's going on?
I don't know. I did this before. It's weird.
Of course, when we have a big guest on this side.
Spotify.
Yeah. Damn Spotify, but damn Spotify.
Alright, Sal, who you got for your last one?
There's a couple. You know, I was thinking about the Harbaugh. You know,
Oh yeah.
think about Harbaugh. A couple more basketball coaches, but I think we go to football this time. This dude always makes the playoffs, no matter who he's got. I'm gonna go with Mike Tomlin.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Always makes the playoffs.
No losing season in 17
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah,
Damn. That's a good pick. Here, bud.
dude's a winner for
Don't
sure.
mess with his notes. Hey, you came prepared. Yeah, you
Alright, I'm going for my last one.
Yep.
Man. Let's see. Oh, let's go with Gino from UConn.
Oh.
Probably the best. Him and the one girl. What's her name?
Pat Summit or
Pass on it.
that's a good one.
For girls basketball, shout out to girls. But
Shout out to girls. Period.
yeah.
That's a big pick right there.
That is a big pick. I forgot about him. All right, then I have the last pick. You know, just the way this year has been, it's been one of the best sports years of my life.
Don't say
He was
that.
on my list.
And you know,
He was on my list.
this man accomplished something that hasn't been accomplished in 30 years of this franchise. It's the hometown that we live in. Let's go the GOAT, Dan Campbell.
Oh my god. Hey,
The turnaround he's had for what he's done to the
Hey,
city.
best
man, you
Detroit
can't-
coach ever. Probably.
Hey, you know what? We'll get into it later. I'm actually scared, but I actually think that we could make the Super Bowl. I'm actually scared about it because I don't want to jinx it, but I do think we could. The way it's all pulling out, that's what I'm thinking.
Alright, that rounds off the crazy draft. Jacob had Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, Roy Williams, Andy Reid, and the man, kneecap biting, Dan Campbell. I had Coach K, Pop, Lombardi, Coach Schultz, and Gino from UConn. And then our guest Cello, he had Phil Jackson, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, and Mike Tomlin. You guys know the usual thing. You go and vote. We need some more voters, not just my family. And maybe the guests will win this week. So that rounds off our famous draft. All right, now let's get into it. So yeah, the Warriors' assistant coach died. He entered the hospital today, and then he's passed away. He's a big, obviously he's from Europe, so all the European players really knew him. But earlier today, we had huge trade. The Indiana Pacers got All-Star forward Pascal Siakam in a deal where Bruce Brown, Jordan Nora, and 3 first-round picks go to the Raptors. So obviously we know Siakam is an all-star. He hasn't been in the spotlight lately because of the Raptors since you could say Kawhi left. But Marcelo, do you think this makes them a legit threat in the East?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, Halliburton is next up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of guys who are next up, but Halliburton is one of the guys who are next up. And I think if you put a little more with him, you know, I know you got Miles Turner out there and a couple other guys who can play, but you get a big name guy with them and maybe added one more piece, they have a shot, and I think that's a good trade for them. They just need they can get another guy who can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
They'll be all right.
Yeah, I just was telling Jacob they're probably like 2-3 years away. Obviously Halliburton's next up, but I mean it's his first real great season. Give him a few years, but I really like this team. I would say they're the dark horse in the East, just because the Sixers, Embiid hasn't really proved it yet. Obviously the Celtics are balling, and Giannis is Giannis, but I like this team. Halliburton fan, got a good jersey already. But Jacob, what do you think?
Do we know how old Pascal Siakam is? Is he late 20s?
26, 26,
Yeah, I think he's late 20s.
28. He is older already.
Because before I get into this, I want to make sure I see how old he is.
29 actually.
29. Okay, so
Yeah.
he's still in his decent prime-ish. People forget back in the 2019 finals. I mean, he was the second best player for the Raptors. They call him Spicy P for a reason. He was balling.
Dude's got an amazing spin move.
Yeah, amazing spin move. I mean, I swear, every time he spun on frickin' Boogie back then, I mean, he just scored every basket.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's a win-win for both sides. I mean, Toronto, obviously, you make the big move, getting rid of OG and then getting rid of Siakam. You want to start new with their new young core that they have with RJ, Quickly, and Scotty Barnes. I mean, they got a good young core over there. I think it's good to get 3 first-round picks. And then on the Pacers side, I mean, you needed to pair someone with Tyrese Halliburton. You need to give him someone that has that championship DNA. You have Rick Carlisle already there in the building. Shout out, that's my uncle, not really, but shout out to him. He's already got that ring, so you got him with the championship mentality, already being there for, I think, a couple years now. And I love it. We're going to see how it goes, though. I mean, I haven't watched too much Siakam this year because out in Toronto, you don't watch too much of him. But I think the pairing is going to fit very well. As much as Tyrese is unselfish in the way he can score, I think it's a good match. I don't know if it's going to take the top off this year, but I mean, we've seen them outscore the Bucks. We've seen them outscore these teams in the NBA already this season. So
I mean,
if they can outscore everyone, shit, man, they could be a scary team in the East.
I mean, they win the in-season championship.
Right.
Championship, so.
Beating the Bucks too.
Right, and like those guys can play.
I do think losing Bruce Brown, that was a big acquisition. You want to bring him in. He was probably the highest paid player this offseason, maybe just because it was 2 years, $45 million, some shit like that.
Yeah, they just won the ring.
Yeah, so you bring that over, so you're going to lose a little bit of shooting, but I mean, you still have Benedict Mathurin.
They got Buddy Hield out there.
Yeah, you guys still got Buddy Hield out there. If he doesn't move, I mean, that's someone that's always
Miles
been
Turner.
Miles Turner can shoot. And they're a young team, so they can grow for a couple years. Pascal can be there. Probably got a good another 2-3 years, and Tyrese obviously is getting into his prime. I think it's win-win all the way around.
Yeah, I just pulled up his stats right now. He's averaging 22, 6 and 4, and you already know how Tyrese is passing. He's already going to get at least like 6 to 8 more points.
Right.
Easy, because Tyrese is averaging, I think, like 25 and 12 or 13, leading the league in assists. Crazy, not turning them over the ball at all. But yeah, we'll see how they look. A really exciting team. The East is obviously was deep, and now they're even deeper now.
Right.
But moving on to the next thing, it's halfway through the season. About 41 games have been played. Let's do some mid-season predictions. We'll go over MVP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player, Coach of the Year, and then we'll do a little finals prediction matchup. So with our guest, Marcelo, who is your mid-season MVP?
Man, it's hard. I mean, it's been Jokic, Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You gotta think that it's gotta be one of those two again.
Mm-hmm.
I personally am not the hugest fan of Embiid. But I mean, I'll give him credit. Dude is good. He can play.
Yeah.
But Jokic is averaging a triple double, I think. And then if it's not either of them two, then you gotta give it to Shea. I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is like doing what he's done with the young core that he's had. I mean, he's like probably one of the best players in the West.
Right. Period.
At least this year. I mean, obviously there's a lot of guys, but
Yeah.
this year he's been doing his thing for sure.
Jacob.
I think pretty much what you said, Sal. I mean, it's pretty much right now we're in the era of the bigs where they're taking over again. I mean, even before Jokic and Embiid, Giannis won 2 MVPs, and I think those three are going to be the best 3 players for the next 3 or 4 years until Shea comes up or Ant Edwards comes up or whoever decides to take the step forward. But I'd probably have to go with. I think Embiid averaged like 40 points this past December.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's been balling. But, I mean, same thing with Jokic. You got to give it to either one of them, too, if I had to pick right now.
I mean, did Embiid just score 40 against Jokic the other night?
Yeah, they won too.
All right, so I mean, they might. I think they go back to Embiid.
Yeah, I'm gonna sway my decision just because I didn't know that. Let's go with Embiid again. I think he's gonna win just because. I mean, you could argue he could have won it 2 years ago when Jokic did when he was second place, so they're gonna be 1-2 for a year. But I'm gonna go with Embiid as well. Let's give it to the big man again.
Yeah, like Silla said, like I feel like Jokic obviously is almost averaging triple double. He's at 9 assists. I think he's gonna fall into what LeBron did. LeBron probably should have won it MVP for like 8 years in a row.
Right.
Let's be honest. But I think the NBA, how it's a business. They want to change it up and give it to different players each year. And I feel like Embiid's going back to back, and then they'll probably switch it up. Giannis won back to back, and then it was Jokic, and now it's gonna be Embiid. But Shai's balling. I just feel like he's not averaging enough, obviously, compared to Embiid. Embiid's averaging 35 as a center. He's leading the league. When he's balling healthy, you saw it last night. He's better offensively than Jokic, but Jokic can win championships. He gets everyone involved. But you just gotta go with Embiid right now. I would say Luka, but the Mavs, they could go on a 5-game losing streak at any time. Really, they're just not consistent enough. Kyrie hasn't been balling.
The MVP is hard though because you give it to the guy who played best in the season, and then you give it to Embiid, you know, and then Embiid goes in the playoffs and he doesn't score.
Right.
And they're out early, and it's like that's why it's hard to. That's why, like you say, the business. It's like you look at it. It's like, do they want to pick a guy who's going to do that in the playoffs again, or do they try to do a guy who's doing this close to the same numbers and pick somebody else?
Yeah, I feel like that's why the NBA added so many freaking new awards during the playoffs. They have like the Western Conference Finals MVP now. Before I was gonna say like they should just wait till the finals and then announce the MVP. It's like you just said, Embiid can ball during the season and then now you make it to the conference finals.
Yeah, but the problem with that is if you do it at the end of the season, it's like Luka can be averaging 40 a game, but then LeBron has the 40 points a game in the finals, and it's like, all right, now you kind of got to give it to him.
Yeah.
So that's why it's all hard and kind of difficult, and there's probably many guys who deserve it, but.
Yeah. All right. Now, we are going to predict the Rookie of the Year. I think it's only down to 2 people. But Sella, who you got?
I'm going with Wemby, just for the sole fact that his team is not good, and he still puts up good numbers. Chet's got a group of guys who play together for a while. They have one of the best players in the league, and they're surrounded by guys who play together for quite a bit. And, you know, and when Wemby's doing this on minute restriction and the stuff that he's able to do at the height, he is. I mean. And there's no way the NBA as a business is going to not pick Wemby to win the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that's true.
For how much they've hyped him up, they're definitely going with Wemby.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Wemby's doing all this, averaging more points than Chet with a minute restriction. He's only playing like 24 minutes a game, I think. Oh, 28. He's averaging 19 and 10. So imagine if he starts playing 35 minutes. He could be balling, and like you said, the Thunder they can win a championship within a few years. Like imagine Wemby playing on any top team. He'd average so many more points. But yeah, I'll have to go with Wemby as well.
Give me a Sar Thompson.
Oh my.
No,
God.
no. I'm just playing. He's not even starting anymore. He's not even getting the minutes he did when he started. But obviously, I think the easy pick's Wemby. I would have went with Chet just to go against you guys. Marcelo, you made a really good point. NBA's entertainment. They're not gonna overhype Wemby, or I wouldn't say overhype, properly hype up Wemby, and then not give it to him. Because obviously Carmelo Anthony should have won Rookie of the Year when he came out with LeBron. They gave it to LeBron.
But here's the thing also. I think this rule's changed. Chet Holmgren's not a rookie.
Yeah,
I agree with that shit.
He's not a rookie. He's been in the league training for a year. He's done the travel. He knows how it feels. I mean, obviously Wemby's from France, and that's different there too. But it's like Chet's accustomed to everything the NBA is already doing.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the same thing when Ben Simmons won it over Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell should have won it, but Ben Simmons took that year off, so they gave it to him.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, hopefully they'll change that rule because I do think it's kind of dumb. Like you said, when you're acclimated, even though you didn't play a whole season, you saw how the boys played and all that. Right.
But it's like,
right.
You're also not a rookie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think it's going to be Wemby as well, just because, I mean, Popovich has Jeremy Sohan playing point guard right now, so that's all you got to say at that point.
And the same year that Blake Griffin won Rookie of the Year and was an All-Star,
Yeah, he
was
was
a rookie.
Yeah.
Like you guys said, he gets to be with the team, and people forget he's practicing with those guys too.
Yeah.
He's getting the NBA experience right there. He might not be going full motion, but he's still playing. Like, and you get to watch him just sitting there on the NBA bench and learning everything and getting it all in your head.
You know
That's
the
so
coach, you know the players.
Yeah.
Like Wemby comes in to brand
you
new
get
everything.
a whole year to learn the place too.
Right.
Like it's not fair, but hey, that's the fucking NBA. All right, now we're gonna do Sixth Man of the Year. I feel like it's kind of open this year, but Sella, who you got?
Sixth Man of the Year. Who did I have? There was a couple of guys. I have two written down. I have Tim Hardaway Jr., who's been balling,
Yep.
or Hugo Kuminga,
Okay.
who's also been balling.
Yep.
And I don't know if you can give it to Russell Westbrook. I don't know because he's a new sixth man.
Right.
But I mean, Clippers are doing their thing now too.
Right.
But if I had to pick one, it's got to be Tim Hardaway Jr.
It's a good pick.
I mean, with the stuff he's been doing recently, he's 40 points the other night.
Yeah.
Him and Kyrie have been really putting it on teams.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, can't disagree with you. Tim Hardaway's been balling. He's shooting the lights out. He's really stepped up when Kyrie's been out of the lineup or Luka. And because I'm a Lakers fan, I was gonna say Austin Reeves, but now he's back in the starting lineup. Like he probably won't even be coming off the bench enough to be part of that award. But I'm gonna say shout out to Cole Anthony from Orlando Magic.
And that's not a bad pick either.
Like
Cole Anthony,
that team's balling. He's a straight bucket, and they're not getting enough media hype for how good they're doing this year. But I'd have to say Cole Anthony or Tim Hardaway. You can't lose there.
I know he's not going to win, but I'm going to go back to what Marcelo said. Give me Russell Westbrook. I mean, just for when the trade happened, we were very skeptical of it. Like, this is not going to work. If you're going to start all four of them, it's not going to work. But I think you just give it to him just despite that they're playing their best basketball because he took that step back and said, hey, I'll be the sixth man. I'll come off the bench. So because of that, I'd say give it to him. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he knows what he needed to do, and somebody needed to do it, and he knows it. Like, it's not an easy thing to do, right? Never in my life would I want to take a step down and be like, someone else can take my spot. But it's tough for him to do that and still perform and then start to get better. I think that's insane.
Right.
He's rocking with the bench squad. I had to do the same thing my senior year of basketball. Rolling with the bench squad. Shout out to Ernie. Good job. But yeah, You can tell. I don't know if you guys saw the video them laughing on the bench of Rudy Gobert, but
Oh yeah.
he's accepted that role. Like you can tell he's helping the guys with the bench, and he's still involved with all the fans.
I mean, didn't he sign like a really low contract?
Yeah,
He signed like a 2 year or 1 year, $8 million or something like that.
It's like a minimum for a bet. Yeah, he could have gone somewhere else and got more money, but you can tell he wants to when he's making the sacrifices.
And he's from LA, right? So it's
Yeah.
he's home. He's with the team he wants. He's got 4 All-Stars on his team.
I feel like they could win it this year. Like
We talked about it last week.
I'm actually rooting for them. I like Paul George.
Mhm.
I'm a huge fan of Paul George.
Yeah, I feel like he deserves it the most. Obviously Westbrook does too. Harden I've always been iffy about, but I mean when he's balling, he's balling.
Right.
But all right, next we got most improved player. You'd say there's quite a few on this list. Marcelo, who you got?
I got 2, but I think I know who's gonna win it. So Halliburton is one by far.
Yeah.
The way he's been playing, the numbers he's putting up, without turning the ball over in the game, which is insane. But I think it's gonna go to Maxey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the way he's turned it around this year. They lost some guys, right? And they lost Harden, and he's just completely stepped up.
Yep.
Completely.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's between Tyrese or other
Tyrese.
Tyrese. Yeah, the 2 Tyreses. But yeah, Maxey, I feel like no one really saw this coming. Obviously, like, say Harden obviously got traded and Maxey was playing bad. It looked like a horrible trade. But he stepped up. Like, Sixers are playing better because of Maxey. So I'll just have to go with Tyrese Maxey.
I think you're right. It's going to go to either one of the Tyreses, but I think you got to go with either one of them. I think it's the same situation like when John Morant won his most improved player. Like, he kind of already arrived the year before.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw spurts of Halliburton a little bit last year. We saw spurts of Maxey a little bit last year in his limited time. So one of those 2 are going to win, but I think it's going to be the same situation where, my preseason most improved player was Jordan Poole, which means he was probably the worst pick.
Went down. Should
Yeah.
award for underachieving.
Yeah, that was one of my worst preseason picks for whatever sport. But I think it's going to be one of the Tyreses. It doesn't matter which one. They're both deserving, but
And Edwards isn't a bad pick either.
that's true. That's probably the top
But
pick, I would
I
say.
feel like he's doing a lot of the same, but he's just doing it at another level.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like it's like say the Timberwolves got that #1 seed. I feel like it should go at Ant.
Yeah.
Like, he's playing at MVP level, but I guess he's just been around at this level a little bit longer. Obviously not this high,
Right.
but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Still got half the year left. All right, now talking to a coach. Who's your coach of the year?
I had a couple here. Mark from the Thunder, Moses from the Magic, or Finch from the Wolves. 3 teams who got young guys who are playing really well,
Yeah,
and that's what you gotta look like. I mean, it's the same thing for football.
yeah,
Like Dan Campbell is deserving of Coach of the Year
easily.
because of how they have been the past 2 years, and who they got, and how they're playing, and how far they're gone, and how the season's been going. So I like the Magic coach as the pick. I think his name is Mosley. But then again, you could go back to what's that Rockets coach?
Paducah.
Aduka. He's not a bad pick either. I mean, they were bad last year.
Yeah, they were straight trash.
And they've been performing well. Or you got who's that? You got Mike Malone too.
Yep.
Spoelstra, who's always a top coach,
Always.
but they're not gonna give it to him every year. No, I'm gonna go with Mosley from the Magic though, just because the Magic have been playing
Yeah.
incredibly well, and from what they've been from the past, and who they got from the draft, and who they've been playing with, I think it's got to go to Mosley up there in Orlando.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I don't want to pick the same people, but yeah, Mosley's been balling as a coach. No one expected him to be this good. Obviously, they have talented players, but it still takes a good coach to bring out the talent in a player. And also just being able to manage good players is a skill as well. we've seen teams with great players do bad. So I'm gonna go with Joe Mazzulla as the Celtics. They got the best record in the NBA, and he knows what he's doing. He knows his X and O's, and I think it takes just a lot of skill to actually manage that many personalities and all those stars in that starting five for the Celtics.
I'm gonna go with Mark Daigneault for the Thunder because that was my preseason pick,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm just gonna stick with it because I mean no one saw the OKC Thunder doing what they're doing this year. I think real OG basketball players saw that the talent that they've developed over the past couple of years, and adding Shea, and then with Chet coming off, and obviously Jalen Williams, Josh Giddey, shout out. Hopefully he can stay out of the law.
Yeah,
But
Do you think it ever happened with that?
no, I think it's like
They
dead or
sweep it under
not.
the rug?
They
Yeah,
kinda did.
probably.
It's been a while, like 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a
They
while.
tried saying that like that was a while ago, but I was like, I don't think so.
No, yeah, 'cause they said something like it was a year or so, or a couple
Yeah.
years ago when it happened. I don't know, man.
Even though, I mean, that's still bad.
Yo, that is
That's
bad.
even worse.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Which is what, 15?
Yeah, that would be worse.
That would have been awful. Oh god. Yeah, that's messed up. But shout out to him for I guess staying out of it. Whatever. If he had to pay, we need to pay to stay playing.
I mean, the family probably got paid.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Josh Giddey's like, all right, how much money?
Australia.
How much money you guys want? I'll give you $2 million.
They were a kangaroo or some shit.
Yeah, I'll give you a kangaroo, free trip to Australia whenever you want. But I'm gonna go with him just because, like I said, OKC man, they've been balling and they're a really good team, and they still got a fuck ton of picks coming up too.
Well, what seed is Minnesota in right now?
I think they're one still. I mean, it's either OKC or Minnesota. They're 1-2 right now. I think. Cam's looking up right now.
Minnesota's the 1, Oklahoma City's 2.
And Denver.
I like that Celtics pick. I think he'll win it just because he's got the best team.
Right.
And they play well, but I think if you want to look at from how the team was last year to what they did last year and to how they are this year, it's got to go to either the Wolves coach or Mark out in Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right.
So it's got to be one of those three. But I think whoever ends up with the 1 seed in the West will get it.
Yeah, the West has always been tougher, and if you ball out in the West,
And they changed the All-Star game too.
yeah.
Right.
So I think the East might get killed.
Can we give any love for Monty Williams? It's got 4 wins now.
I got a problem with Monty. Not really Monty. I like Monty, but I don't think he's giving some guys the love they need.
No, he's giving too much love to the best.
Killian Hayes?
Yeah, the best basketball player on the fucking team, Killian Hayes. Let's give him more fucking minutes. Stupid Monty Williams.
Dude averages 25 minutes and 2 points.
Yeah.
But you got Ivy, who's not like
You gotta play Ivy more.
you got. He's like, yeah, I got to give Ivy a shot. We're halfway through the season almost.
He was
Dude.
playing
Right.
the wrong guys. I don't know what he's doing.
Like to start the season, I think he would have had a better chance if it like the starting lineup was Cade, Asar, Ivy, and then Stewart, and then Durham.
Yeah.
Right.
But then we're starting Killian Hayes, and he's taking away a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. It might be something from management telling him to play certain players. I don't know if Hayes is in a freaking contract right now where he's getting paid more.
But
I don't know.
like Ivy's a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wasting them on
Yeah.
the bench.
Yeah. Look, I said a couple podcasts ago, I'm like, at this point when they were on like the insane losing streak, I'm like, dude, just fucking get rid of Ivy. We've seen the talent. Like it starts as a Pistons fan, but I'm like, we're wasting his talent here.
It's gonna get to a point where Cade's like, I want out.
Yeah, and we can't do that. I mean, they made that trade. What is it? Was it this week or last week? Getting Muscala and
Was it this week?
Gallinari.
Last week.
Maybe it was the weekend, yeah.
I think that's a move where you get more shooting. You see what you can salvage at this season. But I mean,
How old is Gallinari? That dude's got.
he's been in the league for
36.
he's been in the league for 12 fucking years. But yeah, I mean, coming into the season though, I mean, their team wasn't built the right way. When you have Marvin Bagley, you got Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, you got James Wiseman. How are you supposed to win with that with Cade Cunningham? Coming into the league, we saw him at Oklahoma State. He needs shooters around him. He's he's like a mini LeBron. He needs shooters, you know. You're gonna get 4 bigs and just try to build from that.
That's why
It's frustrating,
I like Durham. Durham's a good player.
Oh yeah, dude, he's like a mini Dwight Howard.
And I like Cade and I like Ivy because they drive.
Right.
They finish around the basket really well. But that's the problem. They have no shooters.
No.
Bogdanovich is good, but it's like he's either good one night or he's not good the next night.
Right.
So I just pulled up Killian Hayes' amazing fucking stats. He's averaging 7 points a game, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. He's shooting 27 from 3 and 4% from the field.
Did you say how many minutes he's getting a game?
He is getting
They play how many minutes and
48 minutes total. He's playing 24. So obviously it's kind of a little lower.
He should not be playing half the fucking
He's
game.
only playing 2 minutes, garbage time minutes.
Literally. And what year is he in?
His third year.
His third year. You have to see some progression. I haven't seen any progression from him ever since.
he had a good stretch at the beginning of the season where he had a couple 20-point games, but I don't know. I think we have too many guards and too many bigs and nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
In a league that's heavy on small forwards.
Right. At Star Thompson, I love him to death. I mean, he can't shoot.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got someone that's an athletic wing defender, and I love the pick. I was joking about giving him the rookie of the year, but when he first started off the season, I mean, he was making athletic
He
blocks.
started on every list.
Yeah, he started on everything, you know. I mean, obviously his minutes went down, which I mean, I get it. He's still young, let him develop a little bit, but we need more wing help. You try bringing over Joe Harris, that motherfucker been in the league for too long. Get his ass out of town.
I ain't gonna lie, that dude's cold on 2K.
2K.
Oh my god,
Facts.
that dude is cold.
Facts.
Yeah, Pistons just need to trade everyone except Cade and Ivy.
I love how we don't have the Pistons, but we always eventually talk about them.
We always
It
do.
just happens. I mean, hey, they beat the Wizards last night.
I'll still always support the Pistons.
Got to.
Alright. Now stop talking about bad teams. Let's talk about some good teams. Finals matchup. It's really early. We don't know what will happen really. But Stella, who do you have as a finals matchup?
It could it's tough, but I'm gonna keep it with teams who are rocking. I'm gonna go Nuggets versus Celtics. I think the Nuggets get back there, and I don't think there's a team in the East that is gonna stop the Celtics. The Bucks are good, but
Celtics are better.
like obviously they could score,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's like, oh, they can't defend, and they're like, they can't defend.
Right.
I mean, they went on a bad stretch for losing games, and then I saw they won overtime against where Lillard hit that deep three again, but it's like,
against the Kings.
but it's like I don't know. When it comes to it, Damian Lillard trading one of the best defenders in the league for a guy who's not a great defender, it hurts you a little bit. I mean, they can score, but it's like the Celtics can defend.
Yeah. Celtics are legit. I just tell them, Jacob, they're the best starting five probably in the league. And speaking about the Bucks, me and Jacob think they should trade Chris Middleton.
They should.
He's not the same anymore. He's averaging like only 14 points a game.
You know who they should go after is Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Because Chris Middleton's still good. If they can get Mikal Bridges, a guy who will just go out and guard the best guy on the floor.
He's like a younger version, but better.
Yeah.
He can do everything better. We saw last year with Mikal Bridges, he can be easily a third option.
Right.
I mean, he was with the Suns, but now we really saw his full potential.
I mean, he went to, when he first got to
Brooklyn?
yeah, sorry. He was doing his thing.
Yeah. And his celebrations are the coldest in the league.
Oh, yeah. By far.
Yeah.
By far.
So,
You feel stupid doing it, but when it looks tough.
It does. Yeah, it'll look really dumb if you do it wrong, but yeah, I'll have to agree with you. Taking the Celtics out of the East, I just can't trust Embiid, and I feel like they're only the real contenders, like you said, the Bucks. Who knows with their defense? But out of the West, I really wanted to say my Lakers, but I don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. Then
Aren't
look
they
at
like just as bad as the Pistons in the past 18 games or something like that?
yeah, it's been bad. They
had the guys too. Their off season was, I feel like every year gets better and better.
It does. It just doesn't. I don't know what. I think it's the lineup. Darvin Ham needs to stick to one lineup. They're supposed to go back to the traditional one of D'Lo, Reeves.
I love D'Lo.
Vando.
They need to get rid of D'Lo.
Yeah, me and G were saying D'Lo just not it. He's not the same.
I love D'Lo. I think he's a great player, but I think with the Lakers he's not.
No. So I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm just taking the Nuggets. They got the experience. Clippers, you can't trust Harden or anyone down the line in the playoffs exactly, but Nuggets got the experience. Timberwolves and Thunder, I think, are 2-3 years away. So I'm gonna have to agree with you, Nuggets and Celtics.
Before I get my son in his pajamas, it's getting close to bedtime. Let's get serious right now. Let's talk about the matchup we all want to see. I want to see the Philadelphia 76ers go against the Denver Nuggets. True Game 7 battle, Jokic versus Embiid. Who's the best player in the league? I don't think it's going to happen, Marcelo and Cam, because the Celtics are on a run right now. Health is a big thing. Porzingis was surprisingly healthy last year with the Wizards. He had a surprisingly good year we didn't hear much about. But I think that's something that we need to monitor as the season rolls along in the second half. I mean, the Celtics are lagging right now. But I think we should all see that.
I know why the Sixers never make the finals. Because as a coach, I realized this too. And watching, I wasn't huge watching sports, but like now, like sports betting, it's gotta be watching everything.
Yeah.
But I realized late, like once it becomes big time games or playoff games, like the refs don't call a whole lot.
No.
Because they don't want to control the game, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the Lions game against the Rams, like there was a lot of calls that were missed.
There was.
Like even like the one on Puka at the end. I mean, because they didn't call it. But like they missed a bunch. Like when they run their screenplays where like guys were being held.
Yeah.
But it's like the same thing for basketball. Like you get to, especially in high school, you get to like districts or the regionals, like. Or you watch Muskegon, like those big time games on Saturdays. Like, the refs aren't out there calling everything. So Embiid plays a style where he gets fouled all game.
Yeah, his free throws are high.
Right, he gets fouled all game, but in the playoffs, he's not getting those fouls. So it's a whole different game when he gets to the playoffs that he just hasn't adjusted to yet. That's why I think Jokic is a better pick, because Jokic wants, like, the shots he makes is incredible.
Yeah, we saw it last year. Like, he doesn't need the refs to call fouls for him. He can hit crazy threes over LeBron, AD. He can make anything, or those skids rebound. Embiid, he relies on those calls. There's a reason why he also has so many points, because he was a free throw line so much, which isn't bad. Yeah. That's part of the game.
Part of the game,
drawing fouls. But like you said, the refs don't want to control huge calls like that. They don't want to have a game 7 be determined by a free throw or some shit.
Right, like they don't want to take, like LeBron, they don't want to give him 3 fouls in the first half.
No.
Or 4 fouls in the first half.
It goes back to the business thing too. Like a finals, playoffs, you want to see your stars playing. There's not going to be dumb ticky-tack fouls.
Right, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Also, Jokic can pass that thing better than anybody.
Yeah, he's a point guard playing center. It's crazy how he can play. That's the reason why he'll always probably be better than Embiid, is because he can do everything. It's just like Westbrook back in the day, like why he won the MVPs, because he can do everything. He can pass, rebound.
And dude averaged a triple-double for 3 years.
Yeah.
I think if you average a triple-double, you should automatically be MVP.
Westbrook made it normal. Like, his stats during that time is 2016.
They were like arguing, like I don't know who was up with him during the time. There is no way you're telling me that dude averaged a triple-double and he doesn't deserve MVP.
He easily does.
With a team who's one of the best in the league. Like, it's crazy to me.
So that wraps up the NBA talk. Now we'll talk about the wild card weekend reactions. Sal, obviously you're a big Lions fan. What are your takeaways from the game?
I knew the game was going to be close. I didn't think our defensive backs were going to be that rough, honestly.
Yeah.
When we came out, before the game started, I thought it was going to be close. But when we came out, I thought we were going to blow them up. Because as you watched every other game, it's been a blowout. And I was like, is this another game where we're just watching a blowout, which I would have taken. Because we went down and scored. They came down and kicked a field goal, and then we came down and scored, and then we're up 14-3. I think that's how it went. And I was pretty confident with that. And then obviously Stafford's tough to play. I thought the Rams O-line did great. We could barely do anything to put pressure on, but it was really offense heavy in the first half and really defense heavy in the second half, so it was good to see both sides of it. And I thought it was good for Goff to finish the game like that on a pass to St. Brown to finish it off. Thought that was good to see for Detroit.
I mean, Jacob said last week, I was really nervous. I thought the Rams would actually win. Just
I
Stafford.
mean, everybody had the Rams winning.
Yeah. But hey, I feel like the Lions they keep proving throughout the year that they can win the close games finally. They're not choking.
Right.
You can actually trust them in those tough times.
And yeah, that's key because, I mean, you got to think about it. Was it last year when we lost our first 6?
Mm-hmm.
Or we were 1-6 or something?
Yeah.
Like, not, like, maybe one of them was a blowout, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
we were in a shootout with Philly.
Shootout in the first,
Shootout in the first couple games, and then, like, games were close. Dan didn't know clock management yet, you know, and then we didn't know how to finish games. Goff was still getting used to it, and then they figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we keep going. And then now that we're finishing games, I mean, that's a prime example against the Rams on how to finish a game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, defense gets a huge stop, and then we get the key first downs. So I think that was, finishing games is why we are starting to win.
I don't know if this was for you. Are you a Michigan fan too?
Yeah.
This is how I felt, realistically. After the game, I was more excited that the Lions won that playoff game more than it was that they won the national championship.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the game, because Michigan was blowing them out. Like, my emotions for the Alabama game was a lot more intense and hype because it was like, oh, fuck, we beat Alabama. Like, that's the first step, you know. And then Washington, it is what it is. We're dominating.
Actually, I think there's something wrong with the college national championship, I feel like.
Yeah.
It just does every year. I can't watch it.
Yeah.
And I watched obviously this year because my team was in it and I was happy, but it was like it didn't have the same feel.
Right.
Right? Like this like how I felt for the Lions game is how I felt for Michigan and Ohio State.
Right. 100%. Nope, I got you. 100%.
Right. And I went to Michigan versus Iowa down in
the Big Ten championship.
Yep, I went down there and watched that one.
Nice.
And obviously that's a different feel when you're watching in person.
Right.
But yeah, it's just I say this all the time. I like watching college basketball more than watching NBA. But I way far more like watching NFL more than I do college football.
No, I agree. I think Michigan was such a dominant team this year with everything that happened. It was awesome seeing them, and no one's ever going to take that back from whatever the NCAA may or may not do. I mean, you can't take away that moment. As me as a Michigan fan, I told Cam I need to get a fucking ring because as much as I've been ups and downs over the past 10, 15 years being a Michigan fan, going through all the ebbs and flows and stuff, but no, man, like, that was awesome, and to see, I wasn't watching the before pregame, but watching the Lions fans cheer or chant, Jared Goff, getting him hype, like, I've listened to an interview, I think this morning, where he said, like, I feel great in the city. Like, he's starting to be finally a part. Like, he just felt like he was with the city. Now he's a part of the city of Detroit. And everyone's finally buying into him. And I think they're a scary team, man. I think
I have my fair share of, you know.
Everyone does. He's
had my fair share of
turns
hating
into
golf for a little bit.
He has his moments where he turns into Goof.
Right.
He's Jared Goff, but he turns into Jared Goof. But, I mean, he played damn good ball that first half. And I think if you keep him right, he's going to do good. But I think that game was Stafford's a fucking dog. He was playing lights out like I figured he would. Our DBs, like I heard you say earlier, like you didn't think they were going to be that bad. I think I didn't.
The route running for them was crazy, but we couldn't get any pressure on them. So like it gave the guys time to and we have a new guy. I don't know.
Vildor?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough, man. When we signed Emmanuel Moulty this offseason, I think we were expecting him to be that second guy with Sutton. Sutton's a good number 2. He's not a number 1 lockdown corner. That's the biggest thing we need to hit this offseason.
Oh, yeah, he got cooked.
He got cooked. And give credit where credit's due. Puka Nakua's a fucking beast. And he hit with the Rams, and he's going to be a great player for a long, long time.
He definitely was pissing me off.
He was pissing me off, too. I'm like, how the fuck is this long-haired motherfucker doing this, man?
He was a rookie.
Yeah, because you see all the highlights, and I think the only game I kind of watched was the Rams game, or fuck, we're talking about the Rams. The Rams versus the Ravens.
Right.
I only watched like that second quarter, second half, and when it was close, I'm like, you know, how good is really this guy? And I was pissed because as a Lions fan, I want St. Brown to be a Pro Bowler, and he wasn't because Nakua did. I'm like, no, he's better than this. But no, Nakua's that dude, man. You can't tackle him.
I get that, but there's no way St. Brown is not.
No, well, that's what shows with the All-Pro team. He was the first team All-Pro. Yeah. So out of the 3 positions, all in National Football, he was one of them. Pro Bowl is just.
There was somebody in that made over St. Brown. And I was like, no way.
I think
Was it Evans? Maybe?
Yeah, it was Evans, and then it was AJ Brown.
Okay.
And then CD Lamb, obviously, CD Lamb had a great year, besides the playoffs. But just wrapping up the Lions, like, I'm excited, and like I said before, as I really hinted it beforehand, I see a chance where the Lions can make a Super Bowl run. Because what are we good at defensively? Stopping the run. And if we can beat Tampa, which I believe we will, because I think Tampa's coming off a big high beating the Eagles. They weren't projected to be this far. We already beat them down in Tampa, fair enough. Like, we're two different teams now.
Yeah.
We can pick up the blitz. They like blitzing. They like hitting after Jalen Hurts. Well, we can pick up the blitz. Our offensive line is younger than the Eagles. The Eagles have a great offensive line, but we're younger. We can catch up that blitz, and Jared Goff will tear you up at home. He's going to give you one or two, so I'll say that, because they're back. They still got that championship defense from a few years ago. But
the good thing about the Lions is they can run and throw.
right, you're going to eat both ways, right?
Montgomery is going to get you 5 yards.
For sure.
And then he'll get you another 5 yards.
Right,
And then they'll play action.
right.
And then now we're like, now we have to watch the play action. Are they going to hand it off? Like, because if they hand it off, like, yeah, I mean, it's just, it's tough. It's tough to guard. Because
Right.
you have two running backs who can do it all,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't want to give it to Gibbs in open field.
Right.
So I think offensively, we have one of the best offenses in the league.
No, 100%.
And they're tough to guard.
Yeah, 100%. And I think defensively we're good enough. We're not great. But the way I think we can make the Super Bowl, if Packers somehow upset the 49ers this weekend and they got to come to our house for an NFC Championship game, dude, it's fucking over. I'm sorry. And if we have to go to San Fran, we can stop the run enough where we can stop McCaffrey enough and just let Brock Purdy play. He's not invincible. We've seen it against the Vikings. Watch us, hello. I knew that was coming down. But, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'll tell you
Who
who's...
would you rather playing, San Fran or a hot Packers team?
I'd rather play the hot Packers team because we have the blueprint of beating them already. Fair enough, Jordan Love's not the same guy as he was back then. But I'd rather play them just because San Francisco, man, you never know with them, especially going to their place.
Right.
And defensively, they're the best defense in the league. You have all pros on all positions. But I can tell
And
you,
we're home.
yeah, I know, dude. It's gonna be. That's why I say this weekend, I'll tell you who wins the Super Bowl after watching all those games. There's only 4 games left, so we can go down to 2.
Yeah.
After seeing who all plays and after the 2 buys, I'll tell you who wins the Super Bowl this next pod, so look at it or catch up on it.
I mean, J Love did cook the Lions on Thanksgiving, but that's a different story.
True.
But yeah, Pro Bowl doesn't mean shit. I lost respect for the Pro Bowl when Trubisky was a All-Pro.
Isn't it like flag football now or something? I don't watch it.
It's
I don't watch
flag
flag
football.
football.
And isn't it like
games.
before the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So like guys who are in the Super Bowl don't even do it?
Yeah, they won't, and then they'll give it to the alternate. So like St. Brown's the first alternate. So let's say if
Well, St. Brown won't be in that.
well, yeah, he'll be in the Super Bowl. We already know that, baby.
Say like Evans gets hurt.
Yeah, let's say Evan gets hurt or he
or
did
Evans is in the Super Bowl.
in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, then he'll go get it.
But yeah, Pro Bowl doesn't mean shit. It's just popularity, really. But we'll do a little fast round through the games and thoughts. Texans and Browns. I don't think anyone expected the Texans to go off like that. Sella, what are your thoughts?
You know, as a Michigan fan, I'm a huge fan of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I like.
I think that dude can play.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, everybody wanted the Browns to win. I would have liked the Browns to win. Just as I like Joe Flacco too, but Texans came ready to play, and that's just what happens. Browns didn't come ready, and I don't know much about Houston or the Browns, but I feel like the Browns, for what they've had to deal with this year, I mean, getting to the playoffs is a great accomplishment.
Yeah, they went through 4 different QBs throughout the regular season. I'm a big bandwagon fan. People know that about me, so I love C.J. Stroud. He's probably one of my favorite players already. But yeah, they came to play. C.J. Stroud's not afraid to throw the ball. He'll throw for 2 passes if he needs to. I think that'll eventually hurt them because he needs to go off for them to always win. But Texans they're coming. Jake?
Just quick thoughts. C.J. Stroud's that guy, and Joe Flacco will give you 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think Texans are going to meet their match this weekend against the Ravens at the Ravens. Well, there's always going to be an issue, but it was a great game, and I was expecting a lot of loss. The only good game was the Lions and Rams.
All right. Next, we will do Packers and Cowboys. I think it's kind of the same story. with Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud. No one expected that at all. Cowboys, they're the fucking Cowgirls.
Here's one thing I gotta say about that. I know Dak threw 2 picks. Right? And I know he didn't have a great game, but everybody points fingers at him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That defense let Green Bay guys wide open. Wide open.
There was that.
And they let Aaron Jones, who scored 2 touchdowns all year,
3.
score 3 in a night. Like, Dak Prescott didn't do good, but their defense was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dak still threw for 400 yards, which is crazy. A lot of it was garbage time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they always
400 yards.
Yeah, they always put on Dak. Like, the defense, you should not. They're supposed to be a top defense beginning of the year, still throughout the season. And they gave up 48 and had Jordan Love look like prime Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Like 40 fucking 8 in a playoff game. That's I don't know. It's fucking Cowboys.
That's what makes it hard. Is like, is Jordan Love really good, or does Dallas really suck or they don't suck, but like, do they not come ready at all, or what were they not expecting? Because Green Bay has played in so many close games with teams who are not good, and we have 2. The Lions have 2, but it's like he hasn't had a performance like that all year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he has, and I just haven't been up with it. I mean, he did it to the Lions, but Love was torching them.
To answer your question, Jordan Love is that guy.
I
love
it.
As a old quarterback and watch, he is 100 times more talented than Dak Prescott. You can see that the way he jumps back and he can throw it on a seam, leaning backwards, almost Jordan fadeaway. It's Aaron Rodgers-esque, and I think it was the best thing for him to learn.
I'm not familiar with Jordan Love. I really only watch the Lions.
I'd say we'll see what he does against this 49ers defense. It's the biggest test he's going to have. Usually the Cowboys defense is like, oh, it's so good, but at the end of the day, they're frauds. They're always frauds. Everyone's always going to overhype them. They get in their own heads. So they were not ready for this young Packers team to come and smack him in the mouth. Well, this is a huge test this weekend against San Francisco with Jordan Love. This will really test how I truly feel about him, but at the moment, dude, he's a fucking baller. I wish he was on the Lions because the way he can move around in the pocket and the way his pure arm talent is great, and their young receiving core is going to be the best 2 or 3 years down the road. They're going to be the best because they have a bunch of young fucking dogs. And their tight ends, they have 2 tight ends that are rookies, studs, Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, fucking dogs. And then we got to see what they do at running back. Aaron Jones getting older, A.J. Dillon, I never really think is that good anyways. But they're still a young team, and it's going to be scary, especially with the Bears getting the #1 overall pick and Caleb Williams, dude. Like, I'm very thankful that we won the division this year because it's not going to be this easy again in the next coming years.
Where is Love out of?
Penn State?
No, Utah State.
Utah State.
Utah State. So he was up and down, and that's why he kind of fell. He was projected higher in that draft, but he's really raw, but he's talented.
Right. I thought he's talented, but from watching him, because the only game I've watched him play were the 2 Lions games in Dallas, and it's like anybody can be talented when the dude's that freaking wide open.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know much about him. I've just seen the scores for games and stuff, but obviously I know he can play, but it's. And like
You just haven't seen it.
You can hop in there and throw it to a wide open guy down there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, anybody could.
Right.
Like,
But from my knowledge, I haven't watched all the film on him, but I do keep up a lot, and I've been watching the highlights, and I'm telling you right now, he's that guy, and we're going to be seeing him for the next 10, 15 years because he's only going to get better.
Like you
franchise
said,
QB for the Packers.
Yeah, they did it again.
yeah, but Jacob said it with comparing him to Dak. Dak has already hit his ceiling. Jordan Love's ceiling's way higher.
Oh yeah, and you can just see on the field. I mean, Dak Prescott, the way he throws, he's never been the best thrower of the ball. Like, it almost looks kind of mechanical.
Yeah.
But for Jordan Love, it's just so effortless. The way he can just get the ball out and move and just run, And Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's a bigger Kirk Cousins. I said it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Love just throws it so easy like Rodgers used to and how Mahomes does. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm a bandwagon fan, so I really like Jordan Love too. Yeah, not like him. All right, think we all had the same thoughts to the Bills and Steelers. We all knew the Bills were gonna win. We just didn't know how much they're gonna win by.
You didn't watch it.
I mean, it's also at the worst time, 4:30
On a Monday.
on a Monday.
Right.
Fans were trying to sit. They could stand wherever they wanted.
I think I got practice at that time, so it's...
People were still at work. Everyone kind of knew the story. All right, and
What's funny
then
about that game though is Mike Tomlin leaving the press conference after the game.
Right.
She asked him a question, he just walked out without saying a word. That was hilarious.
great Mike Conklin. That's why he's one of the best coaches. All right, now Eagles and Bucks. We also knew the Eagles were on a downfall. I didn't think it was be this ugly, but I just have a question for you two because they do play the Lions. Are the Bucks actually that good, or the Eagles were they just that bad?
That's hard to tell. Like, you start the season 10-1, and then you finish, what, 1-6?
Yep.
And it's like,
Yep.
it's hard to tell, honestly. I didn't think the Bucks were great to begin with. I mean, when we played them,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, like, worried.
Yeah.
And we handled business, I thought.
Right.
But I like Baker Mayfield. The thing I'm worried about, though, is the Bucks' defense.
Right.
Because, I mean, they're really good defensively, and they have been good for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I think when they had Tom Brady, even before they had Tom Brady, the reason they weren't good was because they didn't have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're defensively, they're always good. So that's what worries me, because defense can bring you a long way. But I think if we just handle them on our defense, we'll be okay. But the Eagles, man, I feel like Devontae Smith was the only one out there working.
Yeah, because A.J. Brown was hurt and Julio Jones got hurt. But Julio Jones is not Julio Jones of 6 years ago, so
No.
he's the shell of himself. But I think two things can be true. I think the Bucks are sneaky good, but at the end of the day, dude, like, Baker Mayfield's only going to take you as far as he can. I mean, we know what he can do, and we've seen it for however long. He can get you to where he wants, but he's also going to play like Baker Mayfield. I think we're going to see that this weekend. But I think the Eagles just fell apart, man. That's all it is. They fell apart down the road, and you can't... I don't know. You really have no excuse for what happened. They just kind of, they were all in these really close games all year. And you're like, they're going to turn around, they're going to turn around, they're going to turn around. Well, they turned it around, but the wrong way. They put that bitch in reverse and was going backwards. That's a good little bar right there. Shout out me on that one. But I think two things can be true, man. Like, yeah, Bucks are sneaky good and Eagles were just bad. I mean, I think I was more nervous about playing the Rams than I was even about playing either one of those teams this weekend. So that's my thoughts on that one.
I will say, I mean, I think when the Eagles lost, as a Lions fan, I felt a little better. Just because you are scared to play a team like the Eagles. I mean, I'm always afraid to play a running quarterback, you know, and a line who's really good, and you know what I mean. And I feel like the Eagles, if they would have snuck by, they could have turned it on.
Yeah,
And you don't want that. You know, I'd rather play a team that we've played before, and we know what to expect,
You know you can beat them.
and we know what we can do against them, right? But against the Eagles, it's like,
You don't know.
you don't know, because they could turn it on, and good things can happen for them. But it's, I mean, at first, my first reaction was, I like Bucks winning for us, for Lions fans. But you know, I'm just hoping we can do what we did last time, perform.
Yeah, shout out to Baker. I like him. I've always liked him. But now let's talk about the best team in the world, my Chiefs. They didn't put up a crazy number, but they dominated. I think the biggest story was that the Dolphins, I feel like they're just not there. They're a track team. They rely on Tyreek too much, which happened kind of with the Chiefs at the end of his stint. But Dolphins just weren't, they're not it. They need to make some changes, and Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. So,
Chiefs got to win this weekend first.
they will.
I think,
we'll see about that.
yeah, that's gonna be good.
Chiefs Lions, baby.
Where is that at? That's in
Rematch.
Buffalo.
In Buffalo, yeah.
I don't really like either the Chiefs or the Bills winning this year. I like the Chiefs and I like the Bills. I'm a huge fan of Allen and Diggs, and Kelsey's obviously the best tight end. Mahomes is up there, one of the best, but they both haven't been playing great. And you know, I guess we'll see how Baltimore plays this weekend, but yeah, I mean, Miami, what were they, 1-6 against teams with winning records?
Yeah, over 5.
Or something like that. I don't watch enough Miami games to know what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean they haven't performed in any big time games. They got blown out against the Ravens
Yeah, that was
a
bad.
few weeks ago. Yeah, I mean they got the guys. I don't know much about them. They have a good. I think they have a good quarterback. I like Tua.
Mm-hmm.
They still have Waddle and Hill and two really fast running backs, and it's like they got guys, so you don't really know what it is sometimes.
I'll tell you what it was. A hot weather team played in -4-degree weather. That's all it was. You can tell them boys did not want to play there.
What a save.
And this dad shirt right here. Bug, hey, let's not play with that. I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. Chiefs got lucky they didn't play a team that's from the cold because I think they're gonna get exposed this weekend. All this year.
You could have played that game in the desert. I don't think Miami's winning.
Well,
I'm not a
The
huge
Chiefs
fan
beat
of
them in
Chiefs.
London too.
they did. I will give them that. Chiefs have a good defense, but let's see when Josh Allen runs for 150 yards on this weekend.
I will say
Okay.
the wide receiving crew at the Chiefs is not great.
No, it's been a problem all year.
I mean, the Lions won the game because they.
Tony can't catch. Tony didn't play though. He was sidelined. I don't know why. I think he's on IR, but it's a good thing. But yeah, that wraps up that. Chiefs gonna ball out. I'll pause this real quick and then we'll do our picks. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. Had to get it before the one. We only get like 1 hour on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
So we gotta break it up real quick. Then we'll get into picks. Will you stop? I knew you were gonna do this shit when we moved the couch.
Pistons are playing the Wolves.
Hey.
Jeez.
Yeah, I see. Is your mom coming home? She's leaving your ass here.
Alright, so who you got for your last one? There's a couple, you know, stick
Hey, come here. No.
Alright, we're back for our second favorite thing, end of the pod. We're gonna go to our picks, but before that, shout out to our one true fan, Andy. He asked if there's any good NBA teams right now. We kind of covered that already, Andy. We already said the Celtics, the Wolves, the Thunder, mainly. And then you asked, how is it going to win the championship this year? Who is? And who's your dark horse? You could say the Clippers. Nuggets are kind of low, but they're the defending champs. Sixers possibly, and now even the Pacers is a dark horse. So that answers the question. As usual, go and ask questions. But now, our predictions. Starting off on Saturday, we have CJ Stroud and the Hot Texans at the Ravens, who have been balling all year. Marcelo, who do you got?
I have Baltimore, but I think it's going to be a closer game than people expect. Baltimore, I mean, Lamar's have had 2 weeks off now.
Yeah.
They've had a week off. And, sometimes that does some things to teams, they don't come out ready because they've been out so long. I think they're going to do well. I think the Texans will do well, but I think Baltimore takes that one.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a high-scoring game. And Ravens have been, you could say, like, the most consistent team throughout the whole year. They've been, like, you could say Super Bowl favorites with the 49ers. But Lamar's going to dominate. They're just good, and I'll take Ravens.
I'm gonna take the Ravens as well. It's gonna be a close matchup. Don't sleep on the Texans. They could come in here and sneak and steal us. I think they could, but Ravens, I think, are a little team of destiny feel to them. The way Lamar is probably gonna win his MVP, and the way that they got OBJ in that bitch now. I think they're bringing Mark Andrews back off IR. I believe he's coming back this week. We'll see how much he plays. He'll likely play pretty well. But they have a little feel of team of destiny to go win this. Maybe the Harbaugh brothers go out together winning in the 2023 championships.
Good storyline.
Good storyline.
That's a good storyline. You know the script writers. You know the script writers. You know the logo too for the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but
They changed, the red and...
yeah, it was red and purple. So I just feel like they're a team of destiny. Let's go with the Ravens as well.
All right. Next, second game on Saturday. Red hot Jordan Love the Packers versus the dominant 49ers. Marcelo, who you got?
49ers, and I just think it's because the Niners defense is so good,
Yeah.
and that's just it. Like offenses can match up fine, whatever, but Green Bay's defense, I don't think is stopping the 49ers at all.
Yeah, I feel like Jordan Love will have a good game, but like you said, the 49ers defense is fucking nuts. They have so many all-pro
Chase Young and
players.
Bosa on
Yeah.
the line. Like, come on. That was,
It's nuts. Like, 49ers better overall. The Packers are missing pieces. There's a reason why they were 9-8 throughout the year. And I think it's pretty easy. The 49ers are going to dominate. And they had 2 weeks off. They're rested. Everyone's going to be healthy. They're ready to play. Jacob?
Going 49ers as well, but as a Lions fan, I wouldn't mind seeing the Packers win so we get the home NFC Championship game.
I agree.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right. Now you true Lion fans. Pretty obvious, but let's just hear. I want to hear why you guys think they're going to win. Marcelo, Bucks at Lions.
I think because offensively, they're good, but they're not great. And I think defensively, we do okay.
Yep.
We don't do great, but we do okay. And I think we'll do good enough. But their defense is good, but like I said, we have one of the best offenses in the NFL. Like we had, like, cool, you can stop St. Brown and you can stop Montgomery and Gibbs, but then we throw a 30-yard pass to Reynolds, and it's like, all right, and then you go throw a 30-yard pass to Laporta, and then it's like,
Or
You just-
Williams.
there's just too many guys we have who do so many good things. I think if our O-line blocks really well and Goff stays poised and doesn't get too rushed, I think we handle business.
I just think we're a better team, period. That's all I gotta say. I just think we're a better team, period.
Also, it's going to be allowed in that stadium. And it helped us kill time in the end of the game last time because they had to blow 2 timeouts early in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's going to play an effect. I think the city of Detroit will come out. I mean, I tried going to both these games, but I mean,
A little pricey.
everybody's going to want to go. Like, there's no way that place is not going to be sold out. And there's no way, that place is going to be packed.
Yeah, if I was willing to, if I didn't want to have more kids, I'd be willing to give up my left nut to go to this game because that's how much it costs right now to get there. But like you said, Sal, the place is gonna be fucking packed, and I'm excited. But I just think we're a better overall team, and yeah, Lions in the NFC Championship game for the first time in 30 years. I think this is the same thing, like I said with the Ravens. I feel like the Lions are a little bit of team of destiny coming out of nowhere. Depending on the NFC matchup, I'm really nervous we could end there. At the end of the day, though, if the Bucks do come in and win, kudos to them. I don't think they will, but if they do, I mean, it's been a hell of a season. But I'll give my reaction next Tuesday.
Yeah, I agree. I picked the Lions last week, but I was worried. But like you guys said, I can't disagree. Only thing I'd be worried about is Mike Evans going off because the Lions secondary is just bad.
I mean,
They've had the
they're okay with giving the best receiver anything they want.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua. Who else have we played? I mean, we've been torched all season by the best receiver. CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
like,
but
we're fine.
I mean, Lions have came out on top still.
Right.
And it's Baker. Baker's he's still good, but like Stafford, I would say is more dangerous.
I thought Stafford played a great game.
He did. Stafford went off.
And he got rocked.
Yeah, that one hit, he got like double hit. It was bad. So I just searched up the tickets just in case we want to take out like a credit card loan or some shit, you guys. We could get cheapest tickets for $576.
And that's for
Nosebleeds.
Nosebleeds, baby.
in the sky, basically.
We might as well just be watching on our phones or some shit. But yeah, it would be cool to go, but a little
I
expensive.
looked at the Super Bowl tickets, $11,000 a piece.
And like you still gotta go all the way to Vegas.
Right.
And
That's
you still gotta
another
get a hotel.
Yeah, so basically it's gonna be $20,000 a person almost.
Right.
It'd be nuts. It would be really fucking cool, but I'll go with the Lions. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it to the Super Bowl. All right.
Crazy.
Now my fucking Chiefs. This is gonna be the same storyline. Josh Allen chokes, and Mahomes and the Chiefs are gonna win. It'll be very close. And just last time they played in Week 14, they would have won on the best play ever. Kelsey tossing that to Tony, but fucking Tony was offsides. But hopefully Tony doesn't play. I'm just gonna start right now. The Chiefs are gonna win. Marcelo, what are your thoughts?
I hope this is another like really good matchup.
Yeah.
Like I hope this is like a great game, as it always is. You know, as a fan of neither of them, and like watching them, I just don't think the Chiefs pull away, and that, just for the sole fact of they haven't looked great offensively in a while.
No, they haven't. Not all year. They haven't really.
And it's, yeah, like since game 1, Thursday Night Football against the Lions, it's just either Mahomes is hitting guys in their hands and they're not catching it, or Mahomes is just off.
Yeah.
But I mean, Josh Allen isn't great either. He turns it over a lot.
He has 18 picks this season.
All right, like so it's like, what do you do, right? But I do think if the Chiefs win the game, it's because of Pacheco.
Yeah.
That dude's a game changer.
Yeah, he's been the most consistent guy all year. Jay will probably say this. This is also the first time that Mahomes is on the road.
Right.
And it's at Buffalo, so Jacob didn't take it away.
I just think that all the woes that have happened this season for the Chiefs isn't going to go unnoticed. I think this is where the Mahomes run ends this year. But let's say they're going to make a move this offseason. They're going to get another receiver or two. They'll be back.
They better.
So this is the one year that Lamar, Josh Allen, even CJ Stroud, go get your Super Bowl ring because the Chiefs will be back.
So that wraps it up for our picks. Cello is amazing having you on. We'll have to have you on again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime.
Especially,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, no problem. Especially season wrapping up, more NBA. Start watching that more. And then have a little special one. See how the Whitehall team does. How far did you guys go last year? I forgot.
We lost the districts.
Districts.
We didn't play well. I mean, obviously we had high hopes.
Yeah.
Did you lose to Fruitport?
Yeah, we lost to Freeport.
Was the year before you guys won district?
So yeah, we have a couple guys who can play. We have more than a couple guys. We're pretty deep. But I mean, obviously the main one we have a D1 recruit.
Yeah.
And other guys who can play college ball. But when he was a freshman, he led us to the regional finals.
Yeah.
So we beat, who was it? We had a bye, and we beat Spring Lake at Spring Lake, and then we beat Montague at Spring Lake, and then we beat Sparta, and then we had to play Coronavirus Catholic Central, and they put it on us.
Yeah.
But last year we didn't perform well, and the main thing is just we didn't defend, but we took it personal, and this year that's what we do, right? I think the varsity right now is 11-0, and but I mean, we're really challenging ourselves now. We have a big stretch coming up. We play Cadillac, who's undefeated, Covenant Christian, who's